everyone, my name is ngay from class 3B and this is my project about graphic design. And the world is changed every day. The world's work is changing a lot in coming years. Some jobs will have no longer be needed as the machine will able to perform this task fast and cheaper. But I think there's still some job will be needed in the future. So today I want to talk about one of the job, and this is graphic design. Graphic design, also known as communication design, is the art and practice of blending and project idea and experience with visuals and textual content. The form is can be physical or visual and can include imaging, words, or graphic. Mm, the experience can take place in an instant or over longer periods of time. The work can happen at any scale, from the design of a single postal stamp to a nation postal signal system. It can be intended for a small number of people, such as one of our limited edition book or exhibition design, or can be seen in by millions as with the interlinked digital and physical content of the international news organization. It can also be for any purpose, whether commercial, education, cultures, or political. And I have some information about this job. Designer. Designers that to be experienced can instant in the easiest to recognize designer arrange type from an image portal, advertisement, packets, and other print matter, as well as information visualization and graphic for the newspaper and magazine. This kind of design is often confused with illustration, but whilst an illustrator create or draw an image in response to an idea, a designer combine illustration, photograph, and tie in order to communicate an idea. A way to understand it is to consider the difference between furniture maker and an interior designers. One make a specific object for a specific purpose, while the other thinks about how all of the objects and surface of a room create an environment for the person moving through it. Good illustrators are often capable designers and vice versa. So how to get this career? You will be well suited to graphic designer major. Oh, I know it. Uh, you will be well suited to graphic designer measures when it comes to the followings. One is creativity within the framework. Creativity is a must for you to survive in an environment of aspiration for novelty in a graphic art. However, you will not be creative, flying high, flying as you like. That will be subject to the man, management and control the boss, company, and partner. Two, imaging and color preferences. If you love beautiful photos or are passionate about the colorful banner ads, graphic designer is right for you. 3. Keep learning. Graphic design is a deep line that is constantly updated with new design trends so much, so you must always learn to keep up with the flow of the industry. And 4. Be ready to learn a foreign language. If you want to study graphic design, then learn foreign language are obvious. But even if you study these fields in Vietnam, foreign languages are also necessary for you to improve your skill and learn new design trends. So everything has advantage and disadvantage. So we will find about advantage and disadvantage of graphic design. First is advantage. Own business. While working in company, designers learn various things about business. For example, how the business works, how engage with clients. Such experience in the company would be useful to establish own graphic designer business. By establishing own graphic designer service, designer can gain more exposure by doing graphic work for big brands out there in the market. Learn more skill. Graphic design company handle different projects which require different designing skill, so designer can learn various new technologies and that's used in graphic design. Designer learn these beneficial techniques either from their seniors or from special training sessions. And next is express creativity. The most important advantage of being a graphic designer is power to represent the creative need. The graphic designer possesses a fine set of art in them. Creative graphic design can help designers to earn sufficient amounts of money for living. Some individuals prefer to work in different areas such as fine art. Fine art is also a good choice to pursue the passion, but it could be more rewarding if it is done along with graphic design work. For example, a person who loves painting can use his or her drawing skill in graphic design too. And next is disadvantage of graphic design is cooperate. While you may have it enters the design fields because you love to create, a corporate design job offer little this way for your own creativity. You will be designing to a client's specification, not your own. Expect to have to make revision. Value of design. Not every company will place the same values on good graphic design. That's why there are so many poor design in even the highest level of advertising. The problem is that company will pay relating to that value that you can easier undersell yourself by doing fast to make work for far too little pay. The screening market. Many problems relating to freelancing and eliminated by taking a permanent position at design studio. Who does the marketing and client negotiation for you? However, the jobs are hotly compete for, so they fill very quickly. But graphic design is very important in our life. So what is the importance of graphic design? First is helping company create imaging. In addition to the logo, the company also needs a graphic design to design the name cards, brochures, signals, standee, employee card, imaging of the social network to build a professional imaging to everyone. If you upload the logo in particular and the brand identities in general of any company, that it is the worst of the graphic design. And the second is having companies sell their product. To sell good need a lot of steps. But if only the process is bringing product imaging to potential customer, the graphic design play an important role. Graphic design will do the job of designing the eye-catching product so that the buyer will notice. Will design photo for the product hanging in public place to introduce to the user. Will edit the imaging to actor. The graphic designs will make the imaging of the products as beautiful as possible. Good product imaging is very important for company to sell. Presenting ideas is no longer a barrier. When you are able to master the layout works, it also means that you have the ability to communicate information you want to reach other people in the best way. Take a CV as your CV. For example, people with no knowledge of graphic design will find it difficult to know where to place this text, how large the font size should fit, how the imaging should be inserted, while the people who have learned the graphic completely master on about the faster on the above factor. Graphic design involves the creativity of designer and depending on the references and requirement of the customer, so it cannot be replaced by the machine in the future. That's I think. Every person have the different perspective on art, so designer need to work that brain to get the love of the customer. Conclude. With these reasons, I think the graphic design will be needed in the future and cannot be replaced by the machine in the next decades. Thanks for watching.